First day as a past master, January 10th, 2021. So I just wanted to capture a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes because, I'd like to talk and hear my own voice. But what has all this been meaning, right? So what does it mean kind of be a past master? What does it mean being a worshipful master? All that kind of good stuff. Now, sorry, I was just doing a workout, so I'm like, old person now. Anyways, so being a worshipful master, you always think about, am I doing the right thing in order to make the lodge successful? Am I doing what the brothers want? And probably more important, or not even probably, but more important, am I doing what's best for everyone, right? Not just the charter, or not the lodge, or the brothers that make up the lodge, but am I doing what's best for my community? Am I doing what's best for myself and my family? So many things that you have to think about really in order to make these things happen. So either way, your time is monopolized by that. Even when you're not in the lodge, you're not doing stuff for the lodge, you're thinking about, can I do this other thing, this familial social engagement, because I got to work on, I got a ritual that I have to do pretty soon, or I'm trying to help out another brother do something. And then, being the best worshipful master of the lodge that you can be. Now, you learn quickly that you can't be everywhere at once. You can't make everybody happy. You can't do all those things. And how much you have to rely on the wardens in order to be able to do things. And I don't think that was something that I really understood. Like when I was a junior warden, I didn't really understand how much, how much was going to be needed of me to pick up. Not, I was kind of waiting around to be told what to do still. I was waiting around for somebody to tell me, hey, junior warden, I need you to do X, Y, and Z, right? There's some of the things I already knew, right? Because you kind of watch stuff. But you only notice the in front of the scenes. You don't notice the behind the scenes. So by the time I became a senior warden, I knew I had to step up the game and do a little bit more and be the right hand of the worshipful master. But I still didn't even, I comprehended it towards the end, of course, because I got to be senior warden 2 years in a row, because I wasn't ready to become master. And, my second year, and like I like to say, the first time you do anything, you suck at it. But the second time that you do it, you're fucking amazing. Pardon my French. So, all that being said, I knew that I needed to be not just the right-hand man of the worshipful master, but as senior warden, I needed to be I needed to predict what the worshipful master needed. I needed to be thinking about what he wasn't thinking about in order to make it successful. It was absolutely no different than being a deputy in, my work, or in my military life, being like it is an LPO, being the leading petty officer in the Navy, and then being that right hand of, the division chief petty officer, and then of course the division officer. So once I realized that I needed to be more proactive, not just, I know this is on the schedule, so I'm going to do this. No, I needed to be so proactive that I had to showcase new ideas that the worshipful master just didn't have time to think of them. Not that you're like special or anything, that senior warden's going to think of all these things that the worshipful master can't think of. They're all things that we all think about. It's just the most valuable thing or commodity that a worshipful master has, more than time, is attention. So you need to not only be his right-hand man as a senior warden, but you need to be his, you have to double up his attention span. So being able to provide that for the worshipful master makes everything better. So I think I noticed that second year we did and accomplished a whole lot more, which set me up as worshipful master to jump in there and give instruction, and then move the lodge a little bit faster, a little bit closer to where we wanted to be. Just a step, but a step in the right direction. And I was lucky, because I had a senior warden that was on board with the same program. He probably, because he came from a military background too, so he had the same thinking, but he had been in longer than me, right? He had been a master mason for much longer, and he had learned from other master masons and other worship masters of the past that taught him how to, do things better. So he was the most excellent senior warden. And then now I'm proud to say that he's the worshipful master of the lodge. And that brings me to probably the point of a past master, right? Past master isn't that, I think, right? Everybody's different, but I think the past master isn't the I know better than you guy. It's I've seen this before guy, right? So I've seen this problem before. Here's how I handled it. I recommend, I recommend that you do, A, B, and C as opposed to anything else. But being that other piece of attention span, I think is going to be what I strive to do, right? Or I strive to be as a past master. I'm really excited about it, honestly, because, I know a lot of other lodges, around the states and around the world, I bet, are running into the same problems, right? We have a ancient institution, and we're trying to sell it and appeal to, these contemporary society that oftentimes has been taught to demonize the very tenets that we hold dear. So, in order to make the lodge, or continue to make the lodge better, I just have to think about, keeping those things in mind, obviously, but thinking about how can I, as a past master, think of the things or pay attention to the things that the worshipful master doesn't have time to, or the senior warden doesn't have time to, or the junior warden doesn't have time to. Because, like I mentioned earlier, when I was junior warden, I waited for people to tell me what to do. And I think that, as an elected officer, because I have not been a secretary or a treasurer, but as an elected officer, that's what you're being elected to do, right? Is to think and act on things associated with the body of the lodge on behalf of the members, right? So if you're in an elected officer position and you're waiting around to be told to do something, I think that's not the right answer, right? So we should be proactive officers, I guess, right? Anyways, with that being said, getting another point that I want to talk to you all about next time is going to be, how do we take this ancient institution, and the tenets of it, and appeal to a contemporary mindset that doesn't hold those tenets to be something to be revered, right? Fortitude, temperance, justice, prudence. These things are, every man of every faith should be able to hold these things in high regard, but a lot of men these days don't. And that's for a lot of reasons. And I think that it's going to be worth getting into that. So, all right. Thanks for your time. More especially, Thanks for your attention.